in a lying down warm up. So just come on over to your mat. If you like to have your head elevated, feel free to place that blanket underneath your head for support. And we're just going to start here, just coming onto our mats. Just becoming present in our practice. Starting to notice where your body is making contact with the mat. You can start to let yourself let go because you're supported by the floor. And then just start to bring your attention to your breath. Now, we're not trying to change anything with the breath here, but you can notice that when you start paying attention to your breath, it may change a little. It may slow down, become deeper. So it's always a good practice if you're feeling stressed or anxious, just to bring your attention to your breath and let it start to deepen. So a lot of times, if we're stressed or anxious, we're breathing very shallowly. And if we start to breathe a little bit more deeply and slowly, we can really bring that anxiety down. So we'll start here, just bringing a little bit of movement into the body. So we're just going to start with some pelvic tilts. So just press the low back into the mat and release. Press it in again and release. Press it in again and release. All right, so we'll just come back to our natural position here. If your legs are extended, go ahead and bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. And we're going to do a little bit of figure four here. So we're going to cross that right ankle on top of the left knee. We'll bring the toes of the right foot toward the shin just to activate the leg. It activates all the stuff around the knee and helps to protect the knee joint. And then we're going to bring our hand down to where the hip crease is. And we're going to start to rotate that right thigh away from us a little bit. You don't have to force anything. You're just trying to start a gentle stretch in the body. Like for me, I feel it a little bit in the inner thigh, but I also feel it a little bit on my side, like on the back top of my hip. So you just notice where you're feeling that. And you can move your hand up your thigh, but don't press on the knee joint and keep that foot flexed. And then since we're just starting out, we're going to stop there. Then before we move, we're going to just windshield wiper very gently and not real big that foot. So the right knee and the right foot are working toward the floor, alternating, but they're not going to come very far right now. All right, and then we'll pause here. Go ahead and place that foot back on the mat, and then bring the left ankle on top of the right knee. Again, flexing the foot, and then bringing the hand down to the hip crease and rotating that leg away. Again, noticing where you're feeling the stretch. Maybe you're feeling it in a different place on this side. Like mine's more on the outer hip now. This depends on how much sitting we've been doing or walking or whatever. So just don't press on the knee joint. We'll be deepening stretches similar to this a little bit later. Then we'll pause here and then just windshield wiper on this side. And bring those knees into the chest. And from here, just pull the knees in as tight as you can get them for now. Just let that low back release a little bit. And then after a breath or two, just rock side to side a little bit. So we're bringing a little more movement into the body, massaging the low back a little bit here. And then we'll use the momentum of the rocking to bring us over to one side. Then once we get on that side, extend that top leg straight, and then bring the hands to the mat and press yourselves up. So now we're going to move into some seated poses. So bring your blanket along, sit on the edge of the blanket. If you need a little bit more room, you can stack a second blanket or even bring over a bolster or a cushion. It's whatever works. And once we get here, hopefully you're able to do a little bit of sitting like this, because the next couple of poses work really well with our knees bent, because we have something to hold on to. But we'll place our hands on our knees. We're going to round the back. We're going to come into do some cat and cow. So we're coming into cat. And then we're going to bring our belly button forward. You may have to bend your elbows to really help to bring movement into the back, and then just keep flowing back and forth between cat and cow. We'll just, you can go as slow as you want, or just bringing flexion and extension into the spine. Just kind of warming it up, taking it easy. And we'll just come to stillness. Pause here for just a moment, and then we're going to do some torso circles. So we'll just start making circles with our body, making them as big or as small as you like. If you're noticing any areas of discomfort, you can make them larger or smaller accordingly. Then we're going to pause and circle in the other direction. And then we'll pause and bring our arms down by our sides. Let's start to lengthen up the sides of the body now. Palms are facing out. We're going to circle sweep our arms up and overhead, and then turn the palms away and just press down. Really reach through the fingertips and lengthen up. Press down again. The next time we're going to add a twist as our arms come down. So we'll twist to the left, bringing the right hand to the left knee. And the left hand comes directly behind the left hip. So we're not twisted very far at this point. But as we work into it, we can inhale to lengthen up. And as we exhale, we can twist any amount more. Our head will be the last to twist, so go nice and slow. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. One more time. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. See if you can twist the knee out more. Don't force anything. On our next inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up and overhead and then twist to the right. Again, the left hand's going to come to the right knee. That's going to help us twist. And the right hand just sits right behind that hip to help keep us upright. So again, we're going to inhale to lengthen, exhale and twist any amount more. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. And then last time, inhale to lengthen, and exhale and twist. On the next inhale, let's sweep those arms up and overhead again, and then press them out to the side. And we're going to come into, we'll just go ahead and extend both legs out straight. And then we're going to bring one ankle on top of the opposite eye. So we're just going to do a little bit of stretching and massaging of our feet. So the first thing that we're going to do is place our fingers between our toes. And this isn't always possible. Some people's toes are really close together, but do the best you can. And we're just going to kind of stretch between the toes. This can feel really good, especially if you don't do this very often. And then while you've got your fingers there, you can actually do some ankle circles just to bring some range of motion into the ankle. And then you can reverse and go in the other direction. And then we'll take our fingers out from between our toes, and we're going to bring our hands to our feet with the toes on top of the foot and the thumbs underneath. And we're just going to massage the bottom of the feet. So you can kind of twist your foot a little bit. That may feel good. And just really just dig in as much as you feel like you want to. You can even go down to the heel, squeeze the heel, press your thumbs into the heel. It's whatever feels good here. And then before we move to the other foot, let's press our toes down. We're stretching the top of the foot, maybe even a little bit up into the shin, but we're also bringing those toes down. And then we'll reverse that and we'll press the toes as if we're lifting them. Stretching the bottom of the foot some. And then we can change legs. So go ahead and bring that other leg on top. And then we'll do the same thing here. We'll just press those, put those fingers between our toes if we can get them. And you can do those ankle circles. And reverse. Then we'll do the massage on the bottom with the thumbs. So I really like to do this. Feels good at the end of the day, especially if you've been walking a lot, standing a lot. Don't forget your heel. You can squeeze that or just massage it with your thumbs. You can twist that foot a little bit. It may feel good. You may get some snap, crackle, and pop in there. And then we'll bend those toes down, stretching the top of the foot and maybe even up the shin a little bit there. And then we'll bend the toes back. Again, just keeping within our pain-free range of motion. That's going to stretch the bottom of the foot. Then you can release that. And then we're going to grab one block. Actually, you may want to go ahead and bring both blocks if you have them. It's not necessary to have two blocks for this. It just makes it a little bit easier. We're going to take the ball and we're going to start working on our lower leg. So we're going to start at kind of the ankle area and work our way up. So we'll place the ball on top of the block and then place our leg on top of the ball. So give yourself a little bit of room. You may have to make adjustments so that you can have a little bend in your legs. So you can move the ball back and forth. And there may be some tender spots there. This helps to break up the fascia, which is the membrane that goes through our entire body, but it tends to, with overuse and repetitive things and injuries, it tends to be a little bit like Velcro around your muscles, so it can impinge your range of motion, and this can help break up the adhesions to bring that range of motion back. So just roll that ball around, and then when you feel complete there, or you just can't take it anymore, go ahead and place it behind your calf. I'm going to move one of my blocks out of the way for now. And then just roll around that. And then when you're done there, you can bring it up. And this one's a little bit more awkward to get into. Place the ball underneath the thigh. And so you're going for the belly of that muscle. You may have to raise up a little bit on your other foot. Or you can take the ball and just use your hands and roll it up and down. I find it feels a little bit more effective for me on top of the block, but you can do whatever feels best for you. You can even roll the ball around on the side on the IT band. That tends to be tight on a lot of people. And it can be pretty tender if you try to do this on the block, on the IT band side. And just roll that around. And then whenever you're ready, you can go to the other leg, starting at the ankle. And roll that around. You can go on the side of the ankle, the inside and outside. I find the ankle's pretty tender on me most of the time. The more you do it, the less tender it will be each time. Okay, and you can move up to the calf whenever you're ready. Today we're really working on the lower back, but you can do this on your hips, up against the wall. You can do it on your shoulders, your back, up against the wall works best in my experience. But you can also work on your neck by placing the ball on top of the block and then just laying down and then rolling on one side of your neck and then the other. So you want to stay on the meaty parts. You don't want to roll over the vertebrae in the middle, but it feels really good. And especially around the base of your skull can feel really good. Moving to the thigh if you would like. Again, your choice on how you do this. Oops, lost the ball. Again, using your hand to move the ball if you prefer. I'm going to switch to my hand for this for the IT band on the side. My husband and I actually travel with a ball. We always take one with us to work out any kinks from riding in the car, or if we're doing a lot of walking on trips or whatever, we'll always take one with us, and it's great. It's super light and small. It just fits right in your luggage. All right. So whenever you feel done, if you'd like to come back to that later, you always can. And we are going to move on to Dandasana and West stretch. So have um, your strap handy, but also just keep your blocks handy because we will need those in a moment. So to come into Dandasana, we're going to sit on the edge of the blanket as we have been. The edges, we got our sit bones right on the edge so that our pelvis tilts forward, and then we're able to sit up nice and long, and our legs are out in front of us. We can engage the legs by just bringing the toes toward the shins a little bit. And then you can rest your hands down either on the floor or the blanket, depending on really on how long your arms are. Press the floor away, and we're in Dandasana, which is seated staff pose. And we're going to relax down out of this for just a second. And we're going to come into West stretch. We're going to use the strap to do this. So we're going to lean forward slightly and place the strap around the balls of both feet. So it's around the big toe mound, the small toe mound. And you'll need to press through the big toe mound to keep your feet from collapsing, with the pressure of the strap. So we'll take one end of the strap in each hand. We're still seated in that nice tall position. And we're going to come into a little bit of a forward fold, but we're going to start the forward fold at the hip crease. So we're going to take a deep breath in, and then we're just going to lean forward, only bending at the hip crease. We're not rounding down just yet. You won't go very far. And this will bring you some stretching to the back of your legs, mostly probably in the hamstrings. If you feel any pulling in your knee, anything sharp, just micro bend your knee, just ever so slightly, and that'll help with that. So continue to breathe. We'll stay here. And as you start to feel the hamstrings release, you can go ahead and start to round down. And I would encourage you not to press and not to force anything, but just to lean forward enough so that gravity takes over and starts to very slowly bring stretch into the back of the body. You may notice that after you stay here for just a little bit, the muscles really start to release and you start going a little bit further toward your legs. You may not go all the way down. That may not be what your body's ready to do today, but just do whatever feels good. Not forcing, just allowing. When you're ready to come up, just let go of the strap, bring your hands to your legs, and just use them to help yourself up very slowly, giving your back a little bit of chance to adjust to being back upright. All right. So we're going to lean back. Just bring your hands back behind you. Bend your knees, heels on the floor. We're going to windshield wiper a little bit here just to release the low back. And then we are going to go into a yogi's choice position. I'm going to show you three different stretches that we can do. This is going to stretch through our hips. The first one is a modification, and you can go back into that position we started in when we were doing the foot massages, where you can just bring one ankle on top of the opposite knee and keep that other leg extended. So you can lean forward a little bit here, letting that hip stretch out. The other two are starting here with that ankle on top of the knee. You can other bend the other leg and bring that ankle underneath the knee. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of space between my knee and my ankle, so I can prop with blocks. This is called cow face legs or square pose, so you can be like this. Or the other position is to unwind completely, is bring one foot into your inner thigh, kind of pull it off to the side a little bit so that the heel is kind of underneath that hip. Then you're going to bring the other hip, other leg on top so that the knees are stacked. Again, if you've got a lot of space, you can bring the blocks into play here. So just choose one of those three that feels best in your body today. And just notice which one, I'm going to actually stay in there, which leg is on top, because we'll turn around and do the opposite. Now, once you get into the pose, you're sitting up nice and straight. And if your body feels like it's ready for it, you can start to tilt forward. Again, starting at the hip crease the way we did in the forward fold. If that's too much for you, just stay exactly where you are. Hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch through the outer hips. Each one of the modifications is going to give you a little bit, a bit of different stretch, but also some people have knee issues and things like that that they need to modify for. So that's why I showed you all three. You can even, if your body is feeling like it's ready, you can round down as we did in that forward fold over your legs, but only if you feel like that's in your practice today. Again, noting which leg is on top. We're going to come back out very slowly. We're going to bring our feet out to the front as we unwind. Lean back on our hands and windshield wiper again. So again, the three choices are to have one leg extended, place the ankle on top of the opposite knee. You can bring that ankle underneath that knee, coming into that square pose, propping with blocks, or you can do that shoelace. Actually, stay there where you got the knee over the knee. So you choose which one. I think that's one leg on top for me. So, all right. So as you're sitting up nice and tall, as the body starts to release and those hips start to release, go ahead and just tilt forward just a little bit. It can be microscopic, or you may not even do it at all. You may just stay exactly where you are. Then if you are tilting forward just slightly and you notice those muscles starting to elongate, you can fold down, drape yourself over your legs a little bit. Just keep breathing. And then when you're ready to come out of it, go ahead and just use your hands to gently walk yourself back upright. Bring your hands behind you and unwind your legs. And then, as we've done before, we'll just windshield wiper a few times here. And then, once you're done with your windshield wipering, you can move your props out of the way, except for the keep the strap handy. We're gonna use that to stretch our legs a little bit more. You can bring the blanket underneath our head again, and we'll come on over to our back. So from here, we've got our knees bent and our feet on the floor. And we're going to come back into that figure four position. So go ahead and bring that right ankle on top of the left knee, just like we did before. We'll flex the foot toward the shin, just like we did this time, because we've already done the external rotation on that thigh. We're going to pick up the left foot and bring it toward our chest. So we can reach through and clasp our hands behind that left thigh, stretching out that right hip. Try to keep that right thigh kind of rotating away from the torso. You can kind of use your elbow if your arms are long enough, or you can just, press it out intentionally. So we're stretching those hips just a little bit more. And then on our next exhale, we'll go ahead and release the left foot back to the mat. Keep the right foot where it is. We're going to do that windshield wipering again like we did before. Only this time, if you feel like going all the way to the floor with your knee and your foot, feel free to do so. We'll come on back to center. Remove the right foot. Let the foot come back to the mat. Then we'll do that on the other side. So left ankle on top of right thigh, or right knee, sorry, and then toes flex toward the shin. And we're going to bring that right knee up and clasp the hands behind the right thigh. And then again, just trying to press that left thigh away from us a little bit. Just noticing where you're feeling the stretch. Hopefully in your left hip. Hopefully you're not feeling any pain or discomfort. Make adjustments accordingly if you are. We'll go ahead and let that right foot drop back to the mat. Bring the left foot to meet it. And then we'll we'll grab our strap and do one more nice stretch for the legs. Now bring the right leg into the chest. Place the strap around the ball of the of that foot. And once we get it in place, let's extend and bend the knee a few times. Now we've already stretched out our hamstrings some today, so you may not feel a deep stretch the way we did earlier. And then we'll extend that leg, run the hands down the strap until the forearms reach the mat, and tuck those shoulder blades underneath. Walk the hands back up, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor. Bring both sides of the strap into the right hand, and then we're going to let the legs drop away from each other. So as usual, we can use that elbow, the right elbow, as a kickstand to help hold that leg up. Left knee is pointing to the left to counterbalance the weight. You can play around with the angle of the leg just to see if you want a little bit more of a stretch. You can move it toward your face. If you need to back off a little bit, move it toward your foot or the bottom of the mat. Make sure you're breathing. Then we'll bring those legs back together. Switch the straps into the left hand and let the legs cross. Again, moving the foot closer to the head or away, depending on how you're feeling. And bring those legs back to center. Bend the right knee and remove the strap, and then let that foot come back to the mat. So now just pause here for a moment and just notice how different your legs feel. We've been focusing a lot on the legs, on getting them stretched out, but even with that, that inner thigh stretch we get in strap stretch feels really good. All right, let's go ahead and bring that left foot into, or left knee into the chest, and place the strap around the ball of the right foot. And then bend and extend a few times. Go ahead and let that leg be straight, and then slide your hands down the strap, tuck the shoulder blades underneath, and then walk the hands back up, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor, sorry, on the floor. And then we'll let the legs drop away from each other again, using the left elbow as a kickstand. On our next inhale, let's bring the legs back together. Switch the strap into the right hand, and then just let the legs cross. Our next inhale, bring the legs back to center, bend the knee, and let the left foot come back to the mat. So we'll rest here for just a moment. Then we'll bring one knee into the chest, and then the other. Coming into that Apanasana, knees to chest pose. And you can add a rocking side to side here. And then if you'd like to morph this into a happy baby, just go ahead and bring the soles of the feet toward the ceiling, clasp behind your thighs, or reach around and grab your feet. You can continue to rock side to side here. You can stretch one leg and then the other, just whatever feels good. You can even bring the soles of your feet together and come into a reclined cobbler pose and continue to rock side to side. And then whatever feels good. If you want to do, bring your knees together and just stir them around, sort of in a circular motion, both knees going in the same direction. This can feel good on the low back. Then you can reverse and go in the other direction. And then I'm going to go ahead and come up and give you a minute to do any additional stretches or whatever you'd like to do to get ready for meditation and Shavasana. We do have a full moon meditation that I'm going to be doing today in honor of full strawberry moon that's happening tonight. So go ahead and get yourself in a very comfortable restorative position so that your body is fully supported and so you can just relax fully. The name of the meditation is Sanctuary Under the Full Moon. So before we begin, you may want to take a moment to set a personal intention for this practice. It could be something you'd like to release or a quality you'd like to invite into your life. Hold this intention gently in your heart as we journey together. Close your eyes and begin to imagine yourself settling into a peaceful space, warmed by soft candlelight or bathing in the gentle glow of the full moon. Take a deep breath and let this soft light fill the space around you, gently spilling into every corner, creating a quiet, calm sanctuary just for you. Breathe in this light, letting it soften any edges within you. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, feeling each inhale draw you inward and feeling each exhale letting go of any tension. Notice the rise and fall of your chest, the expansion of your belly. With each exhale, feel your body grow heavier, gently surrendering to this peaceful moment. With each inhale, you might silently say to yourself, I am at peace. With each Exhale, you can say, I release what no longer serves me. Visualize yourself standing in a wide open meadow bathed in moonlight. The silvery glow of the full moon envelops everything around you, casting a gentle light that seems to illuminate even the depths of your soul. You feel a connection to the cool earth beneath your feet, solid and unwavering, while the moon above calls to the deepest parts of your being, inviting you to release, renew, and expand. Take a moment to simply stand here, breathing and absorbing the quiet beauty of this place. As you stand in the meadow, you hear the soft whisper of the wind through the grass and perhaps catch the subtle scent of night blooming flowers carried on the breeze. The moonlight touches your skin, filling you with a sense of wonder and peace. Breathe in deeply and imagine the moon's light entering your body, infusing you with its nurturing, purifying energy. With each breath, feel the light move through you, gathering any lingering tension or worries. As you exhale, imagine the light melting these away, dissolving them into the cool night air where they shimmer and fade. With each cycle of breath, your body becomes lighter, your spirit more spacious, open, and renewed. Now place your hands gently over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm beneath your fingertips. Reflect on all that you've accomplished, all that you've faced, and acknowledge your strength. Whisper to yourself, I am whole, I am radiant, I am in harmony. Feel these words resonate deeply within you, becoming part of your being. As you stand under the full moon, let it symbolize completion, abundance. With each heartbeat, let it remind you that you are enough, that you are filled with light and purpose. Imagine roots extending from your feet deep into the earth, anchoring you securely. Feel the solid ground supporting you, connecting you to the here and now. Ask in this moment, letting gratitude flow through you. Gratitude for who you are, for this time you've given yourself, for the insights you've gained, for the collective energy of the group sharing this experience, for this sacred pause, and for the cycles of life that guide you. When you're ready, begin to deepen your breath, gently inviting movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, letting a soft awareness return to your limbs. Circle your wrists and ankles, easing movement back into your body with care. When you feel ready, roll to one side for our pose of transition. Feel the steady presence of the earth beneath you, supporting and grounding you as you gather the radiance and peace of this full moon energy. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for this time of self-care, reflection, openness to the fullness of your being. Feel gratitude flowing from your heart for all that you are, all that you've released, and all that you've embraced in this sacred moment. Remember that this inner sanctuary of calm and clarity is always within reach. You can return to this place of fullness and wholeness at any time simply by taking a breath and turning inward. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes, carrying with you the illumination and wisdom of the full moon. Trust that the energy you've gathered will guide you forward, shining a light on the path ahead. Take a moment to honor yourself for showing up to this practice. As you move back into your day, carry with you this sense of balance, light, and connection. So when you feel ready, you can slowly and gently return to a seated position. We'll meet here. Bring our arms down by our sides with our palms facing out. We'll circle sweep our arms, bend overhead, bringing palms to touch in Anjali Mudra, our prayer hands. We'll bring our thumbs to our third eye point to remind us to live with an open mind. We'll bring our thumbs to our lips, reminding us to speak kind words not only to others, but especially to ourselves. And we'll bring our thumbs to heart center, reminding us to live with peace and gratitude. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste.